big question, and some of it will depend on what you feel it is causing you to feel stressed. But let's start with, let's have 7 broad reasons why. So, or things that you can do. So one is to set smart goals, to set goals that, for instance, are important to you and that are ones that are achievable for you. If you just put a bit of effort into it, rather than things that are really too big for you. And make sure that those goals are ones that are really important to you, that you're not trying to achieve things somebody else has decided you should be achieving. Maybe your parents or your friends or your partner or your, possibly your manager. Maybe they're all pushing you in certain directions, and directions that are not really suitable for you. So it's important to make sure that your goals are suited to you. Next thing is to be clear about who you are and who you want to be. It's very stressful trying to be something you're not. And although we want to grow and learn and develop and all those sorts of things, it's important that we make sure, again, that we're not trying to be something our parents want to be, or our partners want to be, or our friends or our colleagues want us to be, rather than who we want to be. Another aspect of this is to think about the role that you need to play to achieve your goal. So it may be that you are trying to achieve, for instance, managerial goals, but you're not thinking of yourself like a leader, or you don't think you're a leader. And it's very difficult to do leader type things when you don't think of yourself as a leader. Or the same with, if you're a parent or a partner, you need to think of yourself in the right way, to think of yourself as a parent, to do parent-like things. And it seems a bit obvious in a way, but sometimes we haven't made that transition to taking on that role or that identity that helps us to take the right actions. I know a lot of business owners who set up business because they're really good at something, like they're good accountants, or they're good coaches, or they're good builders, for instance, and that's how they think of themselves, as a technician, as a somebody who's good at what they do technically. But to run a business, they need to think of themselves as a business person, an entrepreneur, and that way then they find it easier to do the selling and the marketing and some of the other things they need to do. But until they think of themselves in that way, it's very difficult, and so they don't get the results they want, and their business can fail. So another thing to relieve stress is to make sure that you make the right things important. What I mean by here is, again, that if you're trying to be perfect, if you think perfection is the highest thing, then it's very difficult. It's a very stressful kind of thing. But if you're more curious, like, I wonder if this will work, or somebody said something to you and you feel stressed because you think it's critical, you might say, well, okay, so how could I use that? Or what else could they have meant by that, other than the negative meaning I'm putting on it? So it's making curiosity more important than being safe and certain and perfect. And then on the belief level, your thoughts level, it's often very stressful if, for instance, we think we mustn't make mistakes. That's how we learn, that's how we get better. So possibly, on that level, you might be making yourself stressed by thinking that you have to get it perfect every time, and you mustn't make mistakes, whereas actually thinking, well, I can learn from this. I didn't get what I want, or I didn't achieve exactly the thing I needed to achieve, but I can learn from that and it'll be better next time. So thinking about the feedback that you're getting and how you can use it, either from your results or from what people say, rather than thinking, oh, I've got to be perfect at this, I mustn't make a mistake.
One thing, can you take that point again, because I think the sound disappeared. That last point about the mistake.
The beliefs.
That was a belief, not making mistakes, I think you talked about. So If
Yes.
that's the point is the beliefs. Yeah, so if you can go through that again.
Okay, all right. So the fourth thing you need to look at is your thoughts and beliefs, and you know, all those things that are going through your head. For instance, you need to weed out the limiting the beliefs that say I can't, or I'm not good enough, or it's bad to make a mistake. All those things that perhaps keep you in your comfort zone, so you don't get to enjoy new successes or new experiences. And it makes you lack confidence. And you need to put in more empowering beliefs, things like, I can learn how to do this, and it's okay if I make mistakes as long as I learn something useful for the future, and that will make me do it better. So it's thinking about weeding out those negative beliefs, putting in those positive beliefs. Another thing is thinking, oh, other people will think I'm not good enough, or other people will be bored, or all those guesses that you have about other people that are actually more to do with what you think of yourself rather than what other people think. So cut those out. If you need to be sure, ask people for feedback. You know, find out what they're really thinking, but constructive feedback. Okay, because people can be very critical sometimes. A useful belief is there's no failure, there's only feedback. So in other words, you try something, you get a result, and you either hit your goal or you don't hit your goal. But whichever, it's just feedback, and it gives you an idea of what to do next and how to be better next time. So fifth thing is developing the skills you need to achieve what you set out to achieve. It is very stressful to learn from all your own mistakes. So there are lots of things we try and do. You know, we put loads of effort into our learning our technical skills, into our academic education, our trades, all those sorts of things. But then we try all sorts of really important things as amateurs, like running a business, becoming a manager, becoming a parent, dating, presenting, all those sorts of things that also have important skill sets to help you make them successful. So by learning those sorts of things, then you make life smoother for yourself. You shorten the learning curve. So that's really important. Particularly for people who are easily stressed, learning to be assertive is really important. Learning when to say no, so you don't take too much on, but no in a way that people can feel comfortable with, so that you create a win-win outcome. The sixth thing then is around behaviour. So look after yourself. For instance, get enough sleep, look after your health, get the exercise, all those sorts of things that help you feel your vitality, energetic, and get you all those nice brain chemicals going. Think about asking yourself what you can be grateful for, and what you appreciate, because those kinds of thoughts are very relaxing, very calming kinds of thoughts. It's, things you can be grateful for, people, things that happen, things that be grateful for about yourself. Those would all help to ease your stress. And then lastly, make sure that you have the environment around you that supports you, a nice home, for instance. Make it like somewhere you're comfortable to be in. Your office the same. So put plants in it, things that are going to help you feel more relaxed, more at home. Gather resources around you, supportive people, your coach. Good people who are mature in relationships and who support you in a balanced way, a mature way, rather than people who are more critical or easily flare up in a temper, for instance. People who can give you nice constructive feedback, all those sorts of things. Look after your wealth and your money, so that get financial advice, get a trainer, get a coach to help you to achieve what you want to achieve more easily. Things then, so make sure your goals are important to you and that they're achievable. Make sure you're thinking of yourself in the right way, being the person you really want to be rather than the person somebody else wants to be. make the right things important, curiosity rather than perfection, weed out those negative beliefs, bring in those positive beliefs, those ones that are going to support you, learn what you need to learn, look after yourself, and get the resources around you that help you to succeed. The really supportive group of friends, the work mentors at work, a coach, that kind of thing.